Well, Mr. Ergo Glass, do you have a better weapon this time round? I'm buying one either way. I can't continue just having this. It's good, I absolutely love it, but you have more weapons. But it all comes down to what bonuses they have. You know which one I've chose by the video, but I don't just yet. Oh, that's not so bad with the heat. Rather wouldn't have that with electrical, which leaves this with cold, but it's only 33%. Which seems to be, well, that's 36, I should probably go for that. That's down to 25 again. So guess I'm picking this up. Compared to the Tatsu, this thing actually doesn't look too bad. Yes, it seems to be doing less damage, it has the same status, but it has a higher attack speed and a higher crit chance. Meaning, this thing could actually be pretty good compared to the Tenet. Same kind of situation going on. It has a higher attack speed, but it has less crit, more status, little bit less damage. Definitely one of those situations where swapping out primed pressure point is yet again going to take away damage from this thing quite a bit, but putting sacrificial steel in with it does turn it from 110% melee damage to 137. It's almost as good as 165%, not quite as much, but yeah, sacrificial steel takes this thing over 100% crit chance, and obviously over 100% crit chance is better than 61. By a long, long way. This is another one of those, I really don't want to run these mods because they use such a high mod capacity, but it's worth it. Not really sure why Gladiator Rush is in here, we'll probably have a play with that in a second. And it's not like it is, to be brutally honest, the most amazing of weapons anyway. It still does a ton of damage, but after using the Tenet Exec, yeah, as you can tell, it's not exactly one-shotting things like the Tenet Exec was. But then again, that was also against the Grenier at level 100s. These are level 50s. Yes, it is still taking them out very effectively, but not as effectively as I would have liked for something that, well, after modding and everything else, it does have a little bit less damage, and once you realise you have the wrong elemental combo on it, it starts to suck to a whole new level. Tenet Exec so far was probably the best. There is better than this, but it is a two-handed Nakana, finally. That wasn't a slide. I said slide. Gone. Gone. It is still a lovely, powerful melee weapon. Because you have to remember, they are still close to level 50s, and I'm actually really amazed I'm not getting my... There it goes. But handed to me. Heavy damage. And there's the red crits pretty much constantly. And I'm waiting till I die, because it has to be very close, because this is a very, very poorly modded Valkyr. Like, ridiculously poorly modded. Come on, where is it? I thought I would have gone down quickly here, because they are absolutely everywhere, but this thing is not going through this container. But it does make it a good melee weapon for taking out pretty much everything, including the intruders on board your railjack. Why am I in railjack? Because, well, that's where you get the hollow keys to form these things. And when that fissure blows up, I'm a dead man. Void fissures are kind of frustrating because they blow up. Oh, you're above me, not below me. You can see on the map, arrow points upwards, not downwards, but you can see they still take a fair few hits where you have to still be up. You can't be up, there's no up here for you to be in, and there's the void fissure that annihilated me. Typical. But, hey, could be worse. The reason it's not taking them out so quickly is I kind of have the wrong elemental combo on here to go up against the Corvus. So if I had have set this up properly before coming in, it would be just as possibly powerful as the Exec was, because of that crit chance. That is, I love the crit chance on some of these weapons. They are really powerful melee weapons. Quite little powerful melee weapons when you set them up properly. And would love to go the same place I used the exec for the level 100 enemies, but there isn't one. So we'll just have to come here instead and have a play here and see what we can do. And I won't lie, I'm hoping this kind of works out better than I was expecting, which it's not, because, well, these are level 110s and they're not quite going down as I was expecting them to. But we are still hitting for heavy numbers. Why are you even here? Also, yeah. Oh, well, hang on. Yeah, one shot. But it's not one-shotting you. It is... Oh, near enough one-shotting you. So it is actually pretty powerful. I was a bit worried when we came in here, but that's just down to attack speed differences and stance differences, dare I say. Just knock them into the air and keep them there. What I do like to do is heavy attack and then melee the crap out of everyone. Because they kind of float for a little bit, and the combo building up in the corner, as you could expect, will, you know what, you can go out like this. Pretty much take out everything. And yes, that was an 80-something thousand damage. Not the best it can do, because with the Riven in these, oh, they are so much more powerful. But as you can see, still taking out level 100 to 110 without any problems. It is... How about I put it this way? It is definitely top 4 of the... I hate the lasers in this game. They are so broken. It's supposed to bounce you off them, but you slide through them and it usually doesn't affect you. But yeah, you saw that. It pulled me back to the lasers. But yeah, I'm going to say it's definitely top 4 for the melee weapons. For the Tenet melee weapons. If it wasn't for a few things that I kind of liked about the other ones I haven't really done yet. Would you stop running away and take a beating? Jeez. This would probably be number 3. Out of all of them, I think this is probably the worst of the 4. And picking of those, well, that's the only one I've got an odd number of, so I'm going for that one. My biggest problem with this just comes down to the fact that it lacked a new stance. It really should have come with a new stance for this that kind of just made things better. Because if there was a new stance for it, this would have been much better. In the right hands, with the correct auras and everything else, oh yes, it turns into a much faster, much better weapon. And I'm aware of what I just did. You go away now, because everybody wants to leave and I'm the one holding them up here. Oh yes, definitely top 4 from the melee weapons, but sadly possibly the worst of all of them, in my opinion, and nothing more than that. Simply because I love the exec, the sword and board is absolutely amazing, and the scythe, well, more on that soon. And with that, I think we'll leave this off here. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you next time.